Question 1. From a practical standpoint, a newly opened boutique hotel in Lisbon is experiencing erratic occupancy levels, with weekends almost always sold out and weekdays significantly underperforming. The revenue manager is Salazar wants to optimize pricing without alienating loyal leisure guests who book in advance. What is the most appropriate strategy to balance weekday and weekend demand? A. Increase rates across all days to create an impression of premium exclusivity. B. Apply dynamic pricing with rate fences based on booking lead time and stay duration. C. Offer steep discounts during weekdays via all channels to boost occupancy. D. Use fixed pricing across the week to maintain rate consistency. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Dynamic pricing with rate fences allows the hotel to capture varying willingness to pay while protecting weekend high-value bookings. Rate fences, e.g. non-refundable rates for early bookings, help segment leisure versus price-sensitive guests. According to Cornell University's revenue management theory and total revenue optimization principles, this method balances RevPAR growth and customer satisfaction with eroding perceived value. Fixed or uniformly raised prices ignore demand variability. Broad discounting risks over-reliance on price cuts and undermines brand positioning. Question 2. As a result of increasing OTA commissions, Mr. Bradley, the GM of a large city hotel, instructed his revenue manager to drive more direct bookings. Which of the following is the most cost-effective and sustainable solution? A. Temporarily undercut OTA rates on the brand website. B. Partner with meta search engines to drive direct traffic. C. Discontinue OTA listings entirely. D. Invest in digital loyalty programs with exclusive member pricing. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Exclusive member pricing aligns with rate parity guidelines while incentivizing direct bookings. Loyalty programs increase customer lifetime value and reduce reliance on intermediaries, while meta-search partnerships help, they still incur CPC costs. Undercutting OTAs violates contractual rate parity agreements and delisting limits visibility. According to ASMI's distribution channel management best practices, blend of loyalty and direct channel incentives ensures profitability without breaching OTA terms. Question 3. Given the circumstances, a 250-room resort is considering whether to accept a last-minute group request for 80 rooms at a 30% discount during a peak holiday period. The forecast indicates high transient demand and only 60 rooms left to sell. What should the revenue manager do? A. Reject the group request and continue selling to high-paying transient guests. B. Accept the group at the discounted rate to guarantee occupancy. C. Offer the group a conditional rate tied to flexible arrival dates. D. Split the group into 2 blocks to balance transient demand. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. This is a classic displacement analysis scenario. Since the forecast shows high transient demand, selling 80 discounted rooms would displace high-yield bookings, thus reducing overall revenue. According to Cornell's hospitality tools for group evaluation, revenue managers must consider opportunity cost. Rejecting or negotiating for flexible timing protects RevPAR. Conditional rates or block splitting may match guest expectations or operational feasibility. Question 4. Throughout the course of performance reviews, a revenue manager notices the hotel's ADA is improving, but RevPAR remains stagnant. Which of the following is the most plausible reason? A. Occupancy has decreased while ADA has increased. B. Group bookings have outpaced transient bookings. C. The number of rooms available has been reduced. D. The GOPAR metric is being incorrectly calculated. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. RevPAR equals ADA x occupancy. Rise in ADA with stagnant RevPAR implies drop in occupancy. This is critical concept in revenue management KPIs, especially when strategizing price increases. According to SEIERS standards, understanding occupancy dynamics ensures that rate hikes do not harm demand elasticity. GOPAR is unrelated to RevPAR unless broader profitability metrics are considered. Question 5. When presented with booking curve data, Is Chang, a revenue manager, notices a recent surge in last-minute bookings while early reservations decline. What adjustment is most appropriate to improve forecasting accuracy and maximize yield? A. Shorten the forecasting window and implement last-minute pricing strategies. B. Keep current forecasts unchanged to maintain data integrity. C. Increase reliance on historical data trends only. D. Shift all marketing spend to OTAs for visibility. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Changing booking behavior necessitates adaptive forecasting. Short-term forecasting models must reflect recent pickup trends. Relying only on historical data ignores real-time dynamics. According to Ahler and Cornell's forecasting methodologies, short-term booking curve adjustments and flexible pricing allow accurate inventory control. OTAs may help visibility but don't solve forecasting inaccuracies. Question 6. In contrast to traditional approaches, dynamic pricing has become central in modern revenue strategy. Which of the following best captures the core advantage of dynamic pricing in the hospitality context? A. Fixed seasonal pricing is easier to manage across departments. B. Rate changes are preset annually and rarely updated. C. Pricing reacts in real time to demand fluctuations and competitor behavior. D. Hotels can offer low prices across all channels simultaneously. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Dynamic pricing uses real-time data and competitor benchmarking to optimize rates, maximizing RPAR. Unlike static pricing, it aligns with the core revenue management principle of matching price to demand. Per ASMI and RMS best practices, this enhances flexibility, competitiveness, and responsiveness, especially in volatile markets. Fixed pricing lacks responsiveness and hurts revenue potential. Question 7. As illustrated by Ista Abdi City Hotel near major convention center, his property sees massive group demand during events but struggles with high cancellations and no-shows. What is the most suitable response to this challenge? A. Eliminate group bookings and focus on transient travelers. B. Implement overbooking strategies based on historical no-show data. C. Introduce early payment discounts to secure bookings. D. Increase rack rates to offset cancellations. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Overbooking based on historical no-show forecasting mitigates revenue loss and is widely accepted under yield management practices. According to OLA guidelines, such strategy balances occupancy targets with real-world booking behavior. Eliminating groups forfeits profitable business and raising rates might deter valuable bookings. Early payment incentives help but don't solve the forecasting mismatch. Question 8. To illustrate this point, a hotel uses SDR reports to compare its ADA and occupancy with competitors. If the hotel's market penetration index (MPR) is above 100 but its revenue generation index (RGI) is below 100, what does this indicate? A. The hotel is outperforming in ADA but underperforming in occupancy. B. The hotel has high occupancy but lower ADA than competitors. C. The hotel is losing market share across all segments. D. The hotel is exceeding benchmarks in both ADA and occupancy. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. MPI 100 means occupancy is above the market average. RGI 100 means RPAR is below average, implying it is dragging performance. STR index definitions clarify this. According to STR benchmarking 101, balancing MPI and RE ADA index is essential for sustained RGI growth. Misinterpreting this can lead to flawed pricing decisions. Question 9. In the context of departmental integration, Ista Pinto's resort developed Total Revenue Management (ERM) strategy involving spa, FB, and events. Which outcome best reflects the primary benefit of ERM? A. Reducing room rates to promote spa sales. B. Optimizing all revenue streams to maximize profitability. C. Centralizing all revenue decisions under marketing. D. Outsourcing ancillary services for cost control. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. ERM focuses on holistic revenue optimization across departments, not just rooms. As per ERM guidelines, it evaluates revenue per guest, not per room. This improves customer value, upsell opportunities, and strategic alignment across outlets. Reducing rates for spa traffic is unsustainable, and outsourcing may reduce control over experience delivery. Question 10. By comparing cancellation trends during economic downturns, what is the most strategic approach to forecasting in uncertain environments? A. Use historical trends only. B. Apply constrained demand models. C. Increase the forecast margin of error. D. Integrate scenario planning with real-time data inputs. Answer. Correct answer, D. Explanation. In volatile markets, scenario forecasting with real-time inputs enables flexible decision-making, according to Cornell's strategic forecasting models. This method accounts for macroeconomic changes like recession-induced cancellations. Relying solely on past data or static models fails in dynamic contexts. Constrained demand models are more relevant for peak periods, not uncertainty forecasting. Question 11. Given the circumstances, is Rivera manages a beachfront resort where seasonal demand fluctuates wildly. During peak summer months, the resort runs out of standard rooms but has premium suites available while off-season occupancy is below 40%. She wants to optimize total revenue across room types without alienating mid-scale leisure travelers. What strategy best addresses this challenge? A. Convert all remaining standard rooms into premium suites to capture higher rates. B. Offer a single blended rate across all room types to simplify pricing. C. Implement length of stay, loss controls and differential rate fences between room categories. D. Apply a blanket 20% off-season discount to all bookings. Answer. Correct answer, C. Explanation. Length of stay controls. E.g. requiring 3-night minimum in peak combined with rate fences. E.g. advanced purchase versus flexible cancellation help segment guests by willingness to pay and manage perishable suite inventory according to industry best practices. E.g. 8 Smile Loss Guidelines. This balances high-margin suite sales during peak and maintains mid-scale appeal off-season. Conversions reduce standard room supply. Blended rates ignore customer heterogeneity. Blanket discounts erode perceived value and compress ADA. Question 12. From the perspective of price elasticity theory, Mr. Dubois notices that a slight decrease in weekday room rates leads to a more than proportional increase in bookings. Which conclusion is most accurate for his suburban hotel? A. Demand is elastic. Lowering rates increases total revenue. B. Demand is inelastic. Lowering rates will reduce total revenue. C. Demand is unit elastic. Lowering rates has no effect on total revenue. D. Demand is perfectly inelastic. Rate changes have no impact on volume. Answer. Correct answer, A. Explanation. Elastic demand. Elasticity 1 means percentage change in demand exceeds percentage price change, so revenue rises when price falls. According to microeconomic principles applied to hospitality pricing, recognizing elasticity informs dynamic pricing decisions. In elastic demand, elasticity 1 would call for rate increases a unit elasticity equals 1 yields constant revenue. Elasticity is theoretical and unlikely in logic. Question 13. Under the assumption that the local market's GDP growth is slowing, Issa's New and City Hotel expects business transient demand to weaken. Which forecasting approach most effectively incorporates this macroeconomic shift? A. Continue using only historical booking curves. B. Use unconstrained demand models exclusively. C. Rely solely on SER star reports for competitor benchmarking. D. Combine baseline historical models with econometric variables reflect a GE. Answer. Correct answer, D. Explanation. Integrating econometric factors E. The GDP, consumer confidence, with baseline historical forecasts yields more robust demand predictions in macro shifts. Econometric forecasting aligns with best practices in CHRM curricula, helping anticipate downturns. Pure historical SER data ignore external forces. Unconstrained models fail during systemic changes. Question 14. Considering the evidence, a resort group wants to evaluate whether charging a resort fee for all bookings will improve net revenue without harming online reputation. Which metric should the revenue manager prioritize? A. Average daily rate ADA. B. Net revenue per available room, net RevPAR. C. Market penetration in MPI. D. Total revenue per occupied room, TREPA. Answer. Correct answer, B. Explanation. Net RevPAR accounts for all room-related revenue minus direct costs, e.g. resort fee delivery, measuring true profitability per available room. According to revenue management textbooks, focusing on net metrics prevents misleading improvements in ADA that don't translate into bottom-line gains. MPI and TREPA are useful but less precise for fee-driven net revenues. Question 15. Within the framework of distribution channel management, Ista Silva's property sees direct channel bookings plateau while OTA mix grows to 60%. His goal is to optimize channel profitability. Which action offers the greatest long-term benefit? A. Low direct website rates below OTAs to shift bookings in-house. B. Eliminate the hotel's presence on smaller regional OTAs. C. Develop commission reduction program by fostering OTA loyalty partnerships. D. Increase visibility on meta search platforms with targeted pay-per-click. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Loyalty partnerships. E.g. preferred partner status can secure commission caps or tiered rates, reducing acquisition costs over time. 8. SMI distribution guidelines recommend strategic OTA relationships over rate undercutting, which contravenes rate parity. Meta search boosts visibility but still incurs CEC costs, and delisting smaller OTAs risks lost incremental demand. Question 16. In terms of constrained versus unconstrained demand analysis, Is Patel observes that her 300-room urban hotel frequently hits full occupancy on weekends, masking true demand. To measure underlying demand, which method should she apply? A. Apply unconstrained demand modeling using pickup curves with censored data adjustments. B. Assume constrained demand equals historical bookings and forecast accordingly. C. Use simple linear regression on occupancy versus time. D. Only forecast group business separately and combine. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Unconstrained demand models adjust for lost bookings when sold out, censoring, estimating true potential demand. Pickup curve analysis corrects for capacity constraints, enabling better pricing and overbooking strategies. Treating full occupancy as actual demand underestimates revenue potential. The regression alone ignores censoring nuances. Question 17. Despite the fact that a major competitor lowered rates by 15%, Is Gomez's downtown boutique saw minimal pickup change. Which concept best explains why a demand remained stable? A. She miscalculated rate parity implications. B. Demand shows inelastic behavior due to brand loyalty and differentiation. C. Her PMS data was inaccurate. D. She failed to adjust her channel mix. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Holding channel mix constant while a competitor cuts prices shifts customers through OTA price parity algorithms, not website rate parity agreements often prevent direct undercutting on OTAs. Without channel reallocation, rate changes don't surface where demand exists. Brand loyalty alone rarely insulates all price-sensitive guests. Data accuracy should be verified separately. Question 18. Under the assumption that no-show rates for group bookings average 10% of 400-room property forecasts a 50-room banquet group next month, which overbooking level is most appropriate? A. Book 50 rooms and do not overbook. B. Overbook by 5 rooms, total 55 rooms. C. Overbook by 10 rooms, total 60 rooms. D. Overbook by 20 rooms, total 70 rooms. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. With a 10% no-show expectation, the 50-room block yields 5 empty rooms if accurate. Overbooking by 1 standard deviation, 5 rooms, balances expected no-shows against relocation risk. Overbooking best practices recommend conservative buffers. At 10 rooms, 20% risk significant walk probability. At 20 rooms is excessive. Question 19. Among the various strategic pricing models, which best suits a luxury ski resort that must manage highly perishable inventory and extreme week-to-week demand swings? A. Cost-plus pricing model. B. Rate integrity model with fixed published rates. C. Market-based dynamic pricing with real-time ski pass availability integration. D. Static seasonal pricing with quarterly adjustments. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. A market-based dynamic model integrated with ancillary ski pass availability and weather forecasts allows fine-tuned yield management of perishable inventory. Advanced RMS platforms support this integration, aligning room rates with lift ticket demand. Cost-plus or static models fail to capture real-time perishability and competitor moves. Question 20. Through the lens of emerging technology in revenue management, which innovation holds greatest promise for hyper-personalized pricing in the hospitality sector? A. Manual spreadsheet-based segmentation. B. Rule-based RMS without machine learning. C. AI-driven predictive analytics integrating GIS CHRM and real-time behaviors. D. Uniform discount codes emailed to all loyalty members. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. AI-driven predictive analytics that leverage CRM profiles, past stays, and real-time engagement enable personalized offers and dynamic rate recommendations at the individual level. AceMy's 2025 technology roadmap highlights machine learning engines as the next frontier. Uniform discount codes are broad and undermine personalization. The spreadsheets and rule-based RMS lack real-time learning capabilities. Question 21. In light of recent developments, Esther Thompson oversees a resort property where customer segmentation has traditionally been broad. He now wants to refine segmentation to improve pricing precision and marketing effectiveness. Which segmentation approach best supports advanced revenue management? A. Segmenting solely by booking channel, e.g., either versus direct. B. Combining behavioral data, booking patterns, and guest demographics. C. Classifying guests based only on length of stay. D. Using geographic origin as the sole segmentation criterion. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Advanced segmentation integrates behavioral insights, e.g., booking lead time, cancellation rates, demographics, and historical patterns to tailor pricing and promotions effectively. This approach aligns with AceMy's segmentation frameworks and drives targeted yield management. Single-factor segmentation oversimplifies guest diversity, limiting revenue optimization and ignoring nuanced willingness to pay. Question 22. When analyzing displacement analysis for a large city hotel, Edwards faces a choice between accepting a discounted corporate block or maximizing transient business. Which key factor must she prioritize? A. The length of stay of the group. B. The total expected incremental revenue after displacement costs. C. The size of the corporate client's marketing budget. D. The brand loyalty of the transient guests. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Displacement analysis focuses on the net incremental revenue after accounting for what transient business will be lost. This includes room revenue, ancillary spend, and contribution margin. According to Cornell Hospitality Tools, the decision depends on maximizing overall profitability rather than group size or loyalty alone. Ignoring displacement costs leads to suboptimal revenue decisions. Question 23. Considering the evidence, Esther Lopez notices his hotel's OTA bookings show higher cancellation rates than direct bookings. What is the best revenue management practice to mitigate this risk? A. Ban OTA bookings during peak periods. B. Require non-refundable deposits on OTA bookings during high-demand dates. C. Reduce OTA commission rates to incentivize direct booking. D. Allow unlimited cancellations to maintain goodwill. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Non-refundable deposits reduce no-show and cancellation risk without eliminating OTA demand. This practice aligns with industry standards to balance channel reach and risk management. Banning OTA bookings reduces exposure and revenue. Reducing commission rates is usually contractual and not within hotel control. Unlimited cancellations increase revenue volatility and costs. Question 24. Based on the information, a mid-scale hotel experiences frequent rate parity violations by some OTAs, leading to guest confusion and channel conflict. What is the most effective step to ensure compliance? A. Penalize guests who book through violative OTAs. B. Implement real-time rate monitoring and automated rate updates. C. Raise prices universally to offset OTA violations. D. Limit OTA partnerships to a single channel. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Real-time rate monitoring using software ensures consistent pricing across all channels, maintaining rate parity agreements and reducing channel conflict. This practice is recommended by AceMy and OTA contract guidelines. Penalizing guests is unethical and ineffective. Raising prices universally penalizes all guests and limits competitiveness. Restricting OTAs reduces market reach and flexibility. Question 25. Through careful analysis of booking curves, Kim observes a surge in cancellations 7 days before arrival. What is the best tactical revenue management action? A. Implement stricter cancellation policies for bookings within 7 days of arrival. B. Ignore cancellations as they average out over time. C. Increase marketing spend to attract last-minute bookings only. D. Remove all discounts during the last week before arrival. Answer. Correct answer, A. Explanation. Stricter cancellation policies or non-refundable rates within critical periods reduce last-minute cancellations, protecting revenue. This tactic is supported by yield management literature to mitigate volatility. Ignoring cancellations risks lost revenue. Marketing last-minute bookings helps but may not offset cancellations. Blanket removal of discounts reduces flexibility and could deter demand. Question 26. In summary of technology's impact on revenue management, which system feature most significantly improves forecasting accuracy? A. Manual Excel-based forecasting. B. Real-time data integration from multiple internal and external sources. C. Static reports generated monthly. D. Forecasts based solely on previous year's occupancy. Answer. Correct answer, B. Explanation. Integrating real-time data, booking pace, market events, competitor rates, economic indicators enables more accurate, adaptive forecasts. This is consistent with modern RMS best practices. Manual spreadsheets and static reports lack agility. Relying only on historical occupancy ignores market changes and demand shifts, increasing forecast error. Question 27. At the heart of this issue, Mr. Jensen is analyzing how best to integrate revenue management across departments. Which organizational structure best supports revenue growth? A. Isolated revenue management reporting only to finance. B. Cross-functional teams combining revenue, sales, marketing, and operations. C. Revenue management reporting solely to sales. D. Separate revenue managers for rooms and FB with minimal coordination. Answer. Correct answer, B. Explanation. Cross-functional integration fosters collaboration, data sharing, and aligned goals, enabling total revenue management strategies. According to ASMI's organizational best practices, this structure improves responsiveness and maximizes overall profitability. Isolation or siloed reporting reduces insight sharing and decision-making quality. Question 20. The relationship between market demand forecasting and pricing strategy is crucial. If forecasts underestimate demand during peak season, what is the likely consequence? A. Overbooking and customer dissatisfaction. B. Lost revenue due to conservative pricing and limited inventory control. C. Increased market share at competitors' expense. D. Perfectly optimized revenue outcomes. Answer. Correct answer, B. Explanation. Underestimating demand causes conservative rates and inventory controls, leading to missed revenue opportunities. According to Cornell Revenue Management Frameworks, accurate forecasts are foundational to optimal pricing and inventory decisions. Overbooking results from overestimating demand. Increased market share requires competitive pricing, which underestimation may not facilitate. Question 29. The fundamental question is, how should O'Connell evaluate whether discount promotion targeting corporate guests during low occupancy periods is successful? A. By comparing it during the promotion to the previous year. B. By calculating incremental revenue net of discount costs and cannibalization. C. By the increase in total bookings regardless of profitability. D. By the volume of new corporate accounts acquired. Answer. Correct answer, B. Explanation. Evaluating incremental revenue considers additional revenue generated minus costs and displacement effects. Profitability, not volume alone, drives success. This principle is central to displacement and cannibalization analysis in revenue management. Simply measuring ADA or bookings ignores net contribution and long-term impact. Question 30. By evaluating recent market trend reports, is Wang notes a rise in leisure travelers, business plus leisure. What is the best way to capitalize on this emerging segment? A. Increase weekday rates and offer leisure packages during weekends. B. Reduce business rates to compete with leisure hotels. C. Develop combined business and leisure amenities and tailor segmented marketing. D. Focus marketing exclusively on corporate accounts. Answer. Correct answer, C. Explanation. Leisure travelers require tailored offerings, blending business convenience and leisure experiences. Developing targeted packages and amenities aligns with customer-centric revenue strategy. Increasing weekday rates risks alienating business travelers. Reducing rates undermines profitability. Focusing only on corporate misses this lucrative hybrid segment.